Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We start our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, and I will give the floor to Lieutenant Oleksiy Chernobay, Ministry of Defense spokesman. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm glad to see you all at our briefing. In the course of reforming of the defense sector, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine adopted J structure that is used by NATO. And now they specify and distribute the tasks and optimize the organizational structure, and they started to reorganizational measures. Also, General Staff reforms the such departments of Chief Personnel Department, Chief Operational Department, and Chief Training Department. These departments were reformed. And also, according to the roadmap of reform, they plan to complete the reform of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine until 2019. At the same time, they continue to carry out reforms in the Armed Forces of Ukraine. On the basis of the Chief Command Center of Armed Forces, they created the Joint Operational Staff. They carry out operative planning, and also they plan and carry out current operations. And also this body of military command gained its capabilities. In addition to existing command south and west, they created north and east operative command of Ukrainian armed forces in order to repel aggression. Also, they renewed Marine Forces Command in new place of deployment. The decision was taken to build new facilities to deploy Marine Forces staff. To increase capabilities of anti-aircraft defense of Ukraine and to support the land forces by aviation, they create West Aviation Command. This will allow to create zones of responsibilities that will provide effective cooperation of different types of troops in the course of carrying out operations. Also, they created the command vertical in the armed forces, such as civil and military cooperation, and they created a special department within General Staff and respective departments of the armed forces of Ukraine. So now, in the Armed Forces of Ukraine, there is a system of command that help to form and to create reserve corps and also corps of quick response. And this criteria should be met by Ukraine to become a NATO member, but these are only first steps of reforming the system of management in armed forces of Ukraine. And the measures will be identified how to bring Ukraine armed forces to NATO standard, and now the plan how to do this is reviewed by the Cabinet of Ministers. Effective cooperation between armed forces of Ukraine and local government, international and national organizations in the ATO area is provided by civil and military administration of the armed forces of Ukraine. Now the groups of officers of civil and military cooperation, they provided humanitarian help to ATO area. These are 2,000 tons of humanitarian help. Also, they helped to restore local infrastructure. There were 3 projects for local infrastructure. So these were a gas supply network in Marinka region, and also electricity supply in the region of Krasnogorovka and Marinka Nova Mykolaievka. Also, they take part in humanitarian project evacuation 200 and also the projects of humanitarian demining that are carried out together with international organizations. Departments of Civil and Military Cooperation, together with SBU of Ukraine, organized the work to free Ukrainian servicemen who were illegally taken hostage by the militants. Also, they provided 7 courses in civil and military cooperation units, in the course of which they trained 220 specialists for further service in the units of civil and military cooperation. And 49,000 servicemen signed the contracts with Ukrainian armed forces this year, and including 5,500 officers. So now every month we got 6,000 those servicemen who serve under contract, and this is more than it was last year. Also, we plan to increase the number of those servicemen who serve under contract up to 7%, and the priority will be given to sergeants, privates, and also sergeant majors, and those who serve under conscription will serve only in non-battle units and in the supply units. So also Ukrainian forces continue training, and more than 8,000 reservists will be trained in the framework of the units. And as of today, the reservists serve in the armed forces, and these are 82,000 citizens. State enterprises continue to supply to the armed forces of Ukraine new and modernized types of military equipment. According to state military order, this year the Ministry of Defense concluded 128 contracts of more than 4 billion hryvnias. During last week, the ministry got more than 20 units of military equipment, including land-based radio locators, BTR-3 and BTR-4, and the mobile meteorological complex. So from the start of this year, armed forces of Ukraine got more than 3,800 units of new equipment, and this is all. Thank you for attention. This is the end of press conference. Dear colleagues, the next event is at 12.